Good evening. We'd like to welcome all of you to our meeting on this evening. We are thankful that you're here to be with us on this evening, and we again ask that we continue to conduct ourselves in a manner that we will all be pleased with, that we conduct ourselves because we are conducting business on behalf of Pitt County Schools, and we just ask that everyone conduct themselves in a proper manner. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, Amy Cole.
Present.
Annie Barrett-Smith.
Present.
Benji Forrest.
Here.
Caroline Doherty.
Here.
James Tripp present. Melinda Pagandas.
Here.
Tracy Everett Lenz.
Here.
Worth Forbes.
Here.
Don Rose.
Present.
All present. At this time, Melinda Pagandas is going to lead us in our pledge and prayer.
Everybody stand, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
During our moment of silence, I'd ask for everyone to remember the two families that were affected by loss in Pitt County Schools. The first is the family and friends of Mrs. Cindy Warwick, who passed away on February 26th. She was the cafeteria manager at Farmville Middle. And then Miss Angela Suggs, who was the administrator assistant at the Alpha Center, and she passed away on March the 1st. And I'd also like for those to remember the things that are not only going on in our community and our country, but to remember those people that are in Ukraine. My heart really hurts for those people, like I don't think I've felt since probably the Vietnam War, for me, being an older person. So just please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. At this time, we'll take a moment of silence. Thank you.
At this time, are there any adjustments to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Moved by Anna Barrett and second by Worth Forbes. Amy Cole.
Yes.
Anna Barrett-Smith.
Yes.
Benji Forrest.
Yes.
Caroline Doherty.
Caroline Doherty, yes.
Don Rose.
Yes.
James Tripp. Melinda Pagandas.
Yes.
Tracy Lynn.
Yes.
Worth Forbes.
Yes.
All present. At this time, we have the spotlight on teaching and learning. Beth?
Good evening, Chairman Tripp and our school board members and everyone that's watching tonight. We welcome you. And as always, we have some incredible people to introduce to you this evening. There's great things going on in classrooms and across the state. We have outstanding students and staff members. Our first recognition is going to be of students that participated in the Health Policy for High Schools program. Dr. Jennifer Stalls, our K-12 science specialist and district STEM coordinator, will announce the students.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to share a little bit about a program that our high schoolers have been participating in. Some of our high schoolers have been participating in called Health Policy for High Schoolers. This is a collaboration with Duke, MIT, Harvard, Princeton, and Stanford, and our representative is a student from Duke University. Our students had to apply for this program and were accepted and committed to meet virtually on a weekly basis in the evening They complete a health policy curriculum. They have to research and write together as a group a 30 to 50 page policy brief based on their research findings. And they are doing all of this while balancing driver's ed and their coursework and part-time jobs and all of their extracurriculars. We have had representation from all of our high schools in Pitt County, and I'm so proud of these students and the commitment that they have made to this program. And I'm also very thankful for their families for their support as well. So I'm honored to recognize all of these wonderful students tonight, starting with Aiden Griffin High School, Jenna Griffin. And then at D.H. Conley High School, we have Michelle Song, Yusuf Susan, Jasmine Pangia, so Jenna can. Great, thank you.
I think there's several of us that have one. Maybe.
And Jerry Barajas. At Farmville Central High School, we have Abigail Perry. She was unable to join us tonight.
There's too many moving parts to this.
At Innovation Early College High School, we have Jacqueline Beltran and Kennedy Roach. At J.H. Rose High School, we have Gia Lee, Jiwoo Lee, Mac McCall, Olivia Perry, and Andrea Castillo. At North Pitt High School, we have Anya Carmack Heath and Kylasia Johnson. And at the Pitt County Early College High School, we have Madeline Lewis, Ariana Latimer, Savia Moy, and Shadi DeRoche. Please join me in congratulating our amazing scholars.
I'm gonna grab a picture really fast. Yeah, let's slide together a little bit more. And maybe a row in the front too. You wanna step out front here and you slide in? There we go. Slide in, slide in, slide in. Perfect. And then maybe three of you step out front and then y'all slide in. Perfect.
I missed her name. Watch out, watch out.
Great. I can see all of y'all. Good job. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
There's too many steps in that operation.
Next, we will recognize 2 J.H. Rose High School students for winning our state swimming championship. And they are multi-year champions, state champions, which is incredible. And we were afraid they weren't going to be here on time. They literally just got out of the pool. So please welcome Madeline Smith. Madeline won first place in the 100 and 200 freestyle. Emma Hastings won first place in the 500 freestyle. and second place in the 200 freestyle. And again, they are multi-year state champions, and we need to give them a huge round of applause.
So my most favorite hands down thing to do as a board member is to get to celebrate our students. And this particular recognition, if you've been to any of the March meetings for the past 4 years, you know this is a personal honor for me as well to honor these two girls, because we want our athletes in Pitt County to focus on the student part of being a student athlete. And these two have done that. They will be graduating near the top of their class. I'm not sure where they're falling, but certainly well within the top of their class. They are involved after school doing all kinds of service work. I think Emma's the editor-in-chief of the paper. They just are extraordinary young women. And you know, I'm passionate about swimming. Chlorine is my favorite smell, but you know, it's weird, I know. But the thing about swimming is that nobody goes into swimming because of the chlorine, because they can tell you they don't have their classmates there cheering for them most often, not stands for them. They don't go into it because they look cute in the swim cap, even though they look as cute as anybody can. But they go into it because they're disciplined and because they love it.
Round that one out.
Work hours and hours, sometimes as much as 20 plus hours a week to do what they do. And so I'm just incredibly proud. Madeline is a 4-time state champion in the 200. No, 3 in the 4, in the 100. Okay. And Emma is a 3-time, right? In the 500. So, and that's 20 laps. 500 yards is 20 laps, that's a lot. So, I'm just so proud of you guys, and we're going to get to keep watching them battle it out, because Emma is going to be swimming with the Wolfpack starting in the fall, and Madeline's going to be with my Tar Heels. So, they'll actually get to see each other quite frequently, and I'm really pleased about that. It's been an honor. You guys, I've watched them since they were this big. I've logged a lot of hours with their parents on the cold hard bleachers, and I'm really sad to see them go, but I'm super proud of you all and for the honor that you bring to Pitt County, not only in the water, but out of it as well.
And I would like to recognize their coach, Andrew Pierce, because with athletes, we have great coaches that play a vital role in that process. So let's give a round of applause to Andrew Pierce.
Not officially, but both of them automatically qualified All-American, and both of them will be academic All-American as well. Oh, yeah, about almost the rest of the girls' team.
Wow, that's awesome.
You have to meet a time standard, you're fast, and you also have to meet a GPA standard that, and both are aggressive. So, for the bulk of his, at least the female team, I don't know about the boys, is gonna achieve that. And the whole team came in second in the state. So, the women's team did. So, kudos to you, Coach Pierce, and to these girls. I'm not gonna sit in charge of the post on, I'll come on.
Let me grab a picture. Yep, hop in there. Awesome. Congratulations.
Raheem Jones is a student at North Pitt High School, and we're going to congratulate him for winning the second wrestling state championship in school history for North Pitt this season. Raheem competed in the 182-pound class, and if you have been on Facebook and if you saw the post of him running over and hugging his coach, it would have melted your heart, because it was probably the sweetest, most genuine moment in wrestling history. Congratulations, Raheem.
Seems like there's a lot of that going around these days, huh? I don't have a pen. All right.
Raheem's weekend, he was named by the Daily Reflector the fall outstanding athlete for North Pitt, and he goes out and wins the state championship that night. That's a heck of a day for a young man.
Next, we will recognize Amanda Ellis, PCS music therapist, and Jeremy Drawn, PCS school psychologist. They are the co-recipients of the 2021 Exceptional Children Educator of Excellence Award. And if you've ever seen those people in front of children, it's just magical to see them working with kids. And they are here. They are. There's a lot of excitement with the wrestling. Again, this is Amanda Ellis and Jeremy Drawn.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good to see everyone. Gives me great honor and a great privilege to identify two staff that are part of our ECU, yeah, that too. Okay, all right. East Carolina family, and as well as Pitt County Schools. This evening, I'd like to recognize the two co-recipients of the Educator Excellence Award. This is a state award across the entire state of North Carolina within the Exceptional Children's Division. These staff represent staff that are some of our most high-tier staff in terms of what they do every day, not just at their schools, but what they do district-wise. They serve on many committees, and they're considered and respected very much by their peers. First, I have Amanda Ellis, who is our music therapist for students with special needs, especially our students that are nonverbal, have multiple disabilities. She takes the state standards and curricula and writes music. You can go to our website and hear her playing her guitar and hear her singing some of the songs that many of the, in fact, all of our district special education teachers access, of course, what she does. So please give her a hand of applause for all she does for our school district, for our families, and of course for our children. Next, I'd like to also recognize Mr. Jeremy Drawn. He's one of our school psychologists. He's a psychologist that truly provides comprehensive psychological services for students with disabilities, students with 504 plans, or students without disabilities. He is, again, as I said about Amanda, he's very well respected by his colleagues, other psychologists within our division, and is actually to a fellow psychologist, AKA board member, is very sometimes challenging to get some of our support staff the recognition that they provide to students and the school district. And Jeremy surely exemplifies that. He's also a supervisor for our school psychology practicum students as well as interns. We are very fortunate to have him as a part of our family within the EC department, and more than that, as an employee for Pitt County Schools. So again, please give these two staff a round of applause, and we appreciate it. Thank you for this opportunity. He's a gentle giant. We call him our, what do you call him, your Jer Bear. He's our Jer Bear. Okay? Jeremy, Jer Bear, you get that? Have a good evening. Thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really have to.
I would be on the other side of Virginia.
I love it. Congratulations. Thank
At our last board meeting, we recognized our school counselors This month, we are going to recognize our outstanding school social workers, and they are truly the unsung heroes in our schools. They are a vital piece to making sure our children are in schools and that they achieve academic success. Karen Harrington, I believe, is right behind me, and she will announce our social workers that are here.
Good evening. Ladies, you can come up. We just have a few of our team here to celebrate with us tonight. The month of March is actually Social Work Month, so we can recognize all of our colleagues in social work throughout the month. And then this week is School Social Worker Week. And it's just very interesting. I don't know how the logos got developed this year, but the theme is Time to Shine, and they have used the sunflower, which I just think is very, I have a feeling it's a God wink kind of thing for this month or for this week. But our school social workers do more than, sometimes people think of social work and that scares our parents, but our social workers do so much, and they really help to make sure that our schools are whole child focused. They provide resources, strategies to help eliminate barriers that our students would face. And there's just some statistics that we, are always keeping data, of course, of just the number of referrals that they did in the first half of the year. Over 3,000 referrals, 1,200 school visits, 1,100 home visits, 1,600, almost 1,700 student contacts, 4,600 parent contacts, and it just goes on and on. In particular, this year is just their recognition of mental health needs and helping families connect with those. Carol, if you'll go to the next slide. This just shows our school social work team. We have 17 current school social workers with one more to be hired that will start with us in April. 10 of our 17 school social workers currently have their master's in addition to the bachelor that's required for the school system. And 4 of those are licensed clinical social workers in addition. So again, the wealth of experience that they bring. And again, I have with me just a small representation, but I have to my left, Anita Mills, who is a school social worker at Farmville Central High School and Pitt Academy, the alternative program. Sandy Cutler, who is in our Aiden school. She serves Aiden Elementary, Aiden Middle, and Aiden Grifton. Renee Lee Bryan serves Pactolus, Stokes, and GR Whitfield. And then Kim Anderson, as people were entering today, we're just remarking, Kim Anderson took over as lead school social worker this year. She still is serving South Central and Creekside in addition to helping lead the program. She also serves as our McKinney-Vento homeless liaison, and she has just taken the program and just really supported our ladies and one gentleman this year, and just really it's just enhancing everything that we do, and really you're gonna hear more from the social work team in the next couple of years. Kim, I did not see you. Do you want to say anything?
We just appreciate the opportunity to be able to say hi to you all. It's fun to be recognized. We don't hear that often, and so we just appreciate being here. Thank you for this moment, this time.
All right, thank you. Thank your school social worker.
If you are here in person or watching the live stream, please take a moment this week to give a shout out to our social workers. Send them a note, take them a goodie, because they certainly do. They're worth their weight in gold. Next, we have Zach Pomeroy, and Zach is going to announce our North Carolina School Public Relations Association Awards.
Hello, how are y'all doing this evening?
Great.
Good. So for those of you that don't know, I'm Zach Pomeroy. I was working with Jennifer Johnson as a communications specialist over the past few years. And each year we submit different things that we have done throughout the year to the North Carolina North Carolina Schools Public Relation Association. It's a mouthful. But last year, we were like hoping, because we did the TV show, we were like, we're going to win Best of the Best. And in 8 categories, each category gets one Best of the Best winner. This year, we focused on trying to get Best of the Best. And so we submitted a lot less submissions. And so as you can see here, we have 5 submissions. And if you don't know, we accomplished a lot over the past year. And when Jennifer Johnson and I were sitting down talking about everything and submitting these, we designed a custom-built website from scratch with the help of board members. I remember coming and presenting to you guys with the help of Blackboard. We created this website for the school, and we won a gold award in the digital media engagement category. We worked on an early college recruitment video, and we won a silver award for that in the electronic media category. Profile of a learner in the image and graphic design category, we won a gold award. And as well as the new district logo and rebranding, we won a gold award. And then finally, the strategic plan in the publication, print, and electronic, we won a gold award for. And the really exciting news is that we did not come home with just one Best of the Best award. We came home with 2. So out of the state, 8 people were recognized, 8 school districts were recognized for Best of the Best, and we got 2 of them. The first one being the image and graphic design category with our new logo, which, as many of you know, there was a lot of input from multiple people. We had some incredible graphic designers working on that, Ebony Walton and Becky Rooks. And finally, the second piece that we came away with, a Best of the Best award, was with the publication in the print and electronic category with the strategic plan. And again, as many of you know, that was an effort from so many people, from the community to the board to teachers to Dr. Linker and Dr. Lassiter. And so it just shows how we can communicate so much with graphic design and well-designed pieces. And so we are just really excited. I remember sitting and we were watching this virtual event, and I was sitting there with Jennifer Johnson, and she started texting me, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm crying, because if she could do anything, she was going to get a Best of the Best award. And not only did we get 1, we took away 2. So thank you guys for believing in us as a team, and thank you for supporting us. We appreciate it. So awesome.
At this time, we're going to be hearing our public expressions. The individuals that will be speaking will have 3 minutes. If there are any groups, they'll receive 5 minutes. At this time, we're going to call Trudy Brooks. She has 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. 3 weeks ago, my granddaughter, who is a middle schooler at Farmville Middle School, was jumped from behind in the hall in between class periods. She was thrown up against the cinder block wall, and afterwards taken to the hospital and received a 3rd-degree concussion. In talking to my granddaughter, she said that there are several fights every week. This is concerning. And, in the schools, there's mostly concrete. So if these kids keep throwing each other around and keep fighting like this, someone is going to get seriously injured or worse. I know on Instagram that the Farmville Middle School, they have 3 pages where someone constantly uploads fights that you can see in the bathrooms, in the halls, on the buses, in the classrooms, out in the yard. I feel like we need tougher punishments for fighting because, I mean, it literally, when you're looking at the social media, it looks like a war zone, not a school. And with Pitt County schools supposedly having a zero tolerance for bullying, with all of this fighting, there's got to be some bullying happening as well. So I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention, and we need to make our schools safer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Chris Tomlin, he has 3 minutes.
Good evening. I've been here before. I've discussed many subjects. I wasn't able to come to the last board meeting because of a death in the family, but I'll come up here and, I'll step away from pride a little bit. I had an issue a few months ago. My child has an IEP packet at Sadie Salter. I sent out a beautiful email to the school board and was quickly prompted by Dr. Linker and Ms. Anna Barrett, and I thank both of y'all for your prompt actions in that, and the situation was handled. Even though that district is Amy's, thank you for doing nothing as usual. But tonight, I kind of want to come up here and ask, like, how do y'all feel? I mean, the mass situation is gone. Obviously, we're not scared anymore. So I want to know how you feel, because to me, I continue to feel that my children were used as a pawn for the past 2 years. Science has never been followed by this, obviously, because as soon as the governor wipes his hands of it, then all of a sudden it's not a big issue. And throughout those 2 years, the educational experience of children has been completely decimated. There are more children in counseling for attempted suicide and for extra learning because of falling behind, because of the separation that we've had, the masking that we've had that has caused the utmost depression, and so many other things. And there's reasons that I know this stuff that I can't mention that Miss Anna can very much so back me on. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel in knowing that you had a part of the complete destruction of a generation? Because that is what I see. And I know so many have wiped your hands clean of it. You're not worried about it. Mask are gone, do what you want to do, and we're good. But that is not, there are parents who have missed so many opportunities because of this power grab that each of you have taken into hand and run across our children. There are parents that will never get experiences because of the situations that you have put in front of them. And I want to truly know, how do you feel about that? How do you sleep at night knowing that the blood is on your hands of the suicides that have taken place because children are going through depression, not only at home, but at school? How do you feel about that? How do you sleep at night? Yes, I'm going to come up here every doggone meeting. I don't care if masks never come back. And this is to you parents, disobey. This is it. You can see it's a role play. You can see it's government stated. Get away from it.
At this time, Mr. Fleming, do you have? Yes. And he will have 3 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've been here before, and I had a prepared remark, which I did not hand to you because you probably wouldn't read it. But I will hand it to you next time when I have 12 copies ready, okay? I thought I'd take my little bit of time to give you a commercial about a book that everyone should read. It's called The Coddling of the American Mind. And the subtitle is How Good Intentions and Bad Ideas Are Setting Us Up for a Generation for Failure. If you want to know where we've gone wrong for the last 5 to 10 years, and how do we come down this rabbit hole that is public education, please read this. By the way, it is by 2 Democrats and 2 social psychologists, so we're not talking about right-wing extremists. So please, this is a good educational resource. And maybe you as board members would like to know more about how do we get here at this point in time. The second thing I'm going to say, which was not prepared, but it's on the website of our Lieutenant Governor, Mark Robinson. And Mark Robinson has a series of reports in which he put online over 500 complaints from teachers, students, and administrators, many of whom were too embarrassed to put their names on it, but they give specific examples of what's going on in North Carolina. It may not be going on in Pitt County. I don't know. I don't have children here now. But so much of what I've been against, like CRT, may be coming out in other phrases. Sub rosa presentations of this and that and the other. Teachers have learned to suppress what they really feel and go down this way or that way without saying exactly, we're against white privilege, we're against white racist. I guess at my age with my gray hair, I must be a white racist. I don't know how many in the school board are white racist or black racist. I will end by saying this. Anti-racism, as it's being promoted, is really racism in sheep's clothing. We've gotten it backwards. We've gotten it backwards. So figure out where we're going and let's look for the future. Thank you for paying attention and learning about education in America.
Thank you. Want to make sure we did not miss anyone. I think that we just had 3. We're correct? All right. Thank you. At this time, we will ask for a motion for our consent items A through H.
So moved.
Moved by Don. Can I get a second? All right. At this time, we will vote. Amy Cole,
Yes.
Anna Barrett,
Yes.
Benji Forrest,
Yes.
Caroline Daughter,
This is Carolina, vote yes.
Don Rose,
Yes.
Melinda Faganda,
Yes.
Tracy Lynn,
Yes.
Worth Forbes.
Yes.
Motion carried. At this time, we will now go into our new business. Turn this over to Dr. Lincoln.
According to state law, the school board needs to vote on the mask optional policy. Not a whole more, I can't say much more about it, but it's a state law. There you go.
Mr. Chair, I move we continue with the mask optional.
A second.
Been moved by Benji Forrest, second by
Melinda.
Melinda. Melinda, any discussion? Again, we'll call your names for the vote. If you're in favor of it, Amy Cole,
Yes.
Anna Barrett,
Yes.
Benji Forrest,
Yes.
Caroline Daughter,
Caroline Doherty, vote yes.
Don Rose,
Yes.
Melinda Faganda,
Yes.
Tracy Everett Lynn,
Yes.
Worth Forbes.
Yes.
Motion carried. Yes, sir. Okay. Aaron?
Good evening. Tonight, I would like to request the approval of 2 different purchase orders related to ESSER funds. One is for floor scrubbing machines, and the other is for the pads that those machines will use. It is a total of 37 machines, and through this purchase, every school will have at least 1. Some of our larger schools will have 2. We currently have roughly 12 machines in the county, and most of them are in the 5 to 8-year-old bracket. So this would mean that when we're done, every school will have at least 1, and the oldest machine would be about 3 years old. So we are seeking approval of this purchase with Safel, who won the bid for $228,137.38, and this is with the federal ESSER funds. And then we're also seeking approval to purchase the pads with Veritiv was the low bid for $9,423.20. These pads, there's two types. One is used when you are stripping and waxing the floor in the summer, and the other is a much milder abrasive pad, not nearly as abrasive as the one in the summer, used for general cleaning throughout the school year. So, any questions on those items?
At this time, we obtain a motion.
I have a question. This is Caroline.
Hey, Caroline. Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Caroline?
Yes.
Thank you. How long do these floor scrubber machines usually last? What's their expected useful life? I'm
Sure.
assuming floor pads wear out regularly.
The pads.
And second question is about these are COVID funds, right? So I just want to understand the link to that.
These are COVID funds. They will allow us to get the floors cleaner than we currently can just using mops and other things right now. The machines themselves have roughly a 10 to 12 year lifespan. They do require periodic maintenance, which my staff does at the facilities office, but they do roughly go in the 10 to 12 year bracket.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move that we approve the purchase orders in regards to the floor scrubber.
Second the motion.
Moved by Workforce, second by Benji. Any further discussion? We prepare to vote. Those in favor, Amy Cole,
Yes.
Anna Barrett Smith,
Yes.
Benji Forrest,
Yes.
Caroline Daugherty,
Caroline Doherty, yes.
Don Rose,
Yes.
Melinda Fagundes,
Yes.
Tracy Everett Lenz,
Yes.
Workforce.
Yeah.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
This time we have our closing comments, beginning with our superintendent.
Well, while Aaron's
Lincoln?
still in the room, just thanks to Aaron and Matt for the work they've done recently on our school grants that we submitted, that this board just approved. And while I'm sitting here, I got a text that the county commissioners just approved it as well. So that information will be sent to the state. And fingers crossed, maybe we can get some support for some of our schools. So congratulations to the two of them. We appreciate what they do. Thank you.
We begin with the board members, with Melinda.
Thank you, Chair. Well, first of all, I want to say, if my calendar's right, tomorrow morning is the beginning of Battle of the Books, starting with the middle school. So if you're not doing anything, you might want to go watch that. And then after spring break, there'll be the high school as well as the elementary. And I've always enjoyed those students because they work a lot, they read a lot, and I think they deserve for people to show up and support them. Second, I would like to say thank you to all the social workers that are not only here tonight, that are in our schools, as well as out in the community. My job could not be done effectively if I didn't have a social worker working with my patients, as well as I thought about the musical therapists, because we have music therapy sometimes with our patients, and it does wonders for children. So congratulations and thank you so much for all that you do. I hope that next week, with spring break coming around, that everybody takes some time to, reset and rejuvenate, but be safe so that we can come back the following week and finish out the semester. I'm really looking forward to things going forward, getting better and better in terms of COVID, and I'm very, very excited about graduation in June. And that's all I'm going to say, except for if you're Eastern Elementary eating breakfast, I'll be there serving you on Wednesday morning at 7:30.
All right. Thank you. Benji Forrest.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, I want to also congratulate everyone that was present this evening that received certificates for all of the excellence that they continue to provide as ambassadors for Pitt County Schools. Very appreciative of all their efforts, as well as all the teachers and staff of Pitt County Schools. We thank them very, very much. Again, I appreciate my colleagues as we continue to approve the mask optional. I think that's a tremendous advancement of where we are and where we have been. I also like to continue to thank the parents for their engagement. It's been remarkable to see how the parents have been involved in our school system, particularly over the last several months. And very noticed and it's very appreciated. I want to thank you very, very much for that. And I would even encourage maybe the organization Parents for Public Schools. I would even encourage them to maybe some of these priorities, some of these issues that we've dealt with, maybe they would take them on as a priority and to embrace some of the things that have occurred because of parent engagement. We're a better school system because of parent engagement.
Finished?
Yeah, I'm through.
Thank you. All right.
That's all your time. We never know.
That's called a dramatic pause.
Tracy?
I want to just kind of reiterate to please keep the families of Angela Suggs and Cindy Warwick in your thoughts, and please continue to support them as they grieve their losses. I'm really very overwhelmed by all the spotlight on teaching and learning tonight. It just never ceases to blow my mind. All the things that are going on athletically, in our exceptional children's department. Of course, I want to just reiterate happy National School Social Worker Week. They are so invaluable. The last time I asked for help from one was today. You know, it takes a true team to try to address all children's needs. So I'm always very appreciative of all the things that social workers do. And just congratulations to Pitt County Schools for all of our public relations awards. And as always, thank you for your public expression. I always try to listen to those carefully and understand the sentiment of our community. So I always appreciate that.
Amy?
Well, everything is always gets said by the time I get to halfway around, but same thing. I'm keeping those families in my prayers, and for all the wonderful spotlight of teaching and learning. It's amazing to see, and I'm really impressed with the health policy program. The fact that I have to come up with a 30 to 50 page policy, and that's not just a paper; it's like a policy. That's amazing that these kids are doing that. I actually have one of those in that list who was not here tonight is one of my students currently, so I'm going to make sure I tell her congratulations tomorrow when I see her. So that's very exciting. So it's always good to see that and all the wonderful things going on. Again, thank you to the social workers. Of course, our public relations department always getting awards. It's really great to see. And then all the people, of course, it was very short tonight, but all the public expression that we get. Again, whether people believe it or not, we do listen and we do think about everything that gets said. And even though things may not seem like we're doing something on the surface, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that the public doesn't know about. So I thank you for all of that information as well.
Thank you. Anna Baird.
I echo the appreciation for all those who showed up tonight and who shared their thoughts with us. School safety and safety of our kids at school is very important to me. I know it is to my fellow board members as well. So you can trust that that is at the forefront of our minds and will continue to be as well. I'm super proud of all of our students who just are going above and beyond and have pushed through a couple really difficult years and continue to absolutely exceed expectation. And then I'm just going to close by saying, you know, as board members, it is fair and it is healthy for the public to keep us accountable for our decisions. And I have no trouble being held accountable for things that people like and things that people don't. And I'm always eager to engage with people when they're willing to. So thank you to those of you who've been willing to engage. But I'm troubled when unfair shots are taken at my fellow board members that are undeserved. And while Amy does not need my defense of her, the reason that I responded to a particular issue is because it was aimed at me. I was named, and I was happy to, as Amy would have been happy to, and has dealt with a lot of things when she's asked to. So to say that she did nothing as usual is incredibly out of bounds and unfair. Amy works incredibly hard, as do all my other board members, and whether we agree or disagree, this is a difficult job, and there is a lot going on that people don't know. So continue to hold us accountable for our decisions. That is completely the right thing to do. But I'm proud to serve with these folks, and I am particularly saddened when things are, accusations are hurled that are unjust.
Thank you. Word forward.
Yeah. I would like to request that at our next board workshop, that we get a report on school discipline at our next board workshop, if we can. Because recently I've been hearing where there are beginning to be a whole lot more fights in school. I'm not responding to anyone tonight, you know, a speaker or anything, but I'm hearing there's more fights in school. We've had an uptick in weapons in school. I'm getting a lot of texts. I get texts where resource officers have been involved, and all of that's concerning to me. Because I mean, if we got a fight in a school, when I had fights in school, those kids were out. And you may say, well, you're putting a kid out of school. But I'm also looking at the kids that are coming to school every day and wanting to learn. And many of those kids, once you begin to give them a consistent discipline that they know is going to happen, they pull back from fights. In fact, if we're consistent in what we do, given tough discipline, that discipline will go down, and we'll have less fights in school. I know it works because I have been involved in it as a principal. And I just think we, as a board, we need a presentation on it. You know, I know at the end of the year, we're always concerned about out-of-school suspensions and numbers and so forth. I think we're pushing and beginning to focus on numbers more than we are safety and the good learning that we can promote in good, safe environments within our schools. So that's what I would request.
Thank you. Don Rhodes.
I concur with Mr. Ford's comments at one exception. I've never been concerned about out-of-school suspension numbers if it makes the school safe. So just to tell y'all my points on that, I've been there with Mr. Ford before. I'd like to congratulate all award winners tonight. I know the following two items have not been officially announced, but I've got friends that have, where Nora McCunney, as senior D.H. Conley, has been awarded the EC Scholar at East Carolina University, which means she has early assurance into her school of choice, which is the nursing program. And she's also assured after she graduates a spot in the PhD program in nursing. So that's a great EC Scholar. If you don't know much about East Carolina and the honors program, you need to learn about it. Also, Judge Marvin Blunt and his wife Rebecca's daughter Eleanor Blunt was selected for Morehead Kane Scholarship at the University of North Carolina. That is a prestigious scholarship. Congratulations to those two young ladies. Eleanor attends J.H. Rose High School. And finally, Farmville Central High School boys and girls both will be back in the state championship for the 4th consecutive year. The boys will be going for their 4th straight championship, and the girls 2 out of the last 4. So best of luck to the Jaguars on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Caroline Daughter.
Thank you. It's Caroline. I do miss being there with you all. Hope that I can be back sometime soon. I do want to extend my deepest condolences to the Work and Suggs families and to the staff and students at Farmville Middle and the Alpha Center. I'm really thankful for all their years and contributions to our students and our schools. I know they'll be sorely missed. Really proud of our swimmers and wrestlers from 2 different high schools who won state championships and represented Pitt County schools so very well. And also so proud of all the health policy scholars. I think this is the first year for that. That represented all the high schools. Really need more young folks involved with health policy development, and I hope that many of them will go on to pursue this as a major in college, and maybe even on to state and national elective office to write policy that helps families right here in Pitt County with regard to their health. Also like to do a shout out for the school social workers. They really are the glue that helps our students and their families make school work. In my field, we have something called social determinants of health. Well, social determinants can get in the way of effective education as well. And school social workers are our frontline professionals who help overcome many of those issues that impact a student's ability to learn. I'm very, very grateful for them, especially being one myself. So thank you, and my hat's off to them. That's all.
Thank you. Again, thank you to all of you that come out to be in our meetings on tonight. We thank those for your public expressions. And I do agree with Anna Barrett, and I believe the board agrees that this board works very well together. They work very hard to make sure things are ran well. The Pitt County Schools working with the superintendent and his staff. And they do not deserve ones coming up, calling them out like that, making accusations of things that are not true. We are going to be looking at that. And if that's the only reason that some want to come for public expression, we desire that you stay home. These people are dedicating their time and their services to the students and staff of Pitt County Schools, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. There's not a week go by that I don't talk with Dr. Linker and other employees of Pitt County Schools and this board. This board do work well together. We're trying to make decisions on the best interests of all of our students. And as I said before, we should care about all of our schools. Every school that is in Pitt County, we want to make it so that every child that attends that school is proud of their school. When they're graduating from their high schools, we want them proud of their high schools. These are some of the things that we're working towards, that Pitt County high schools, Pitt County schools, all the Pitt County schools will be some of the best schools in the eastern part of North Carolina. Things said about masks, whether we vote to approve masks or disapprove masks, this does not just happen in Pitt County. It's all over the nation. Everybody had to make those decisions. We're not the only board that have had to make those decisions. These have not been easy decisions. These have been times that none of us expected 2 years ago that will come our way. And everybody, including all of you, had to readjust our schedules. We had to readjust our lives because of this pandemic. A lot of lives been lost. A lot of people have been sick and still sick from the virus. And so we take our vote serious when it comes to discussions about masks, whether wearing masks and all of that. And so it is not good to make fun of decisions like that that the board has to make. If the shoe was on the other foot, I wonder how some of you would decide what is best for the students and staff of Pitt County. And so as we continue to go forward and work together, I appreciate all of you that come out. I appreciate the communities that are supporting our athletes, going to some of the basketball games, to see the community come out, see the families come out and support these teams are very encouraging. Again, let us go forward and let us remember, all of us have feelings. All of us are humans, regardless of what area of the county we live. And so we should treat everybody with respect. If you want to be respected, then respect somebody else. And so that's all I ask, that when you do come, show some respect. You can get things done and don't have to use profanity. You don't have to maliciously call people out and still get things done. I tell Dr. Lincoln sometimes, I don't know how he does it. This man works hard, and his phone, I know, rings all the time. And so, again, let us move forward and work it together. Thank you again for being out tonight. At this time, we're going to closed session. We'll turn it over to Mr. Don Rhodes.
I make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to General Statutes 143.318.11 for the following purposes: under subsection A3, to consult with our attorney, to preserve the attorney-client privilege, and to consider and give instructions concerning judicial actions titled Gay versus Wofford, 21 CVS 3617, Coleman versus Pitt County Board of Education, 21 CVS 1080, and Haddock versus Pitt County Board of Education.
We have not closed
City
yet.
21 CVS 3653.
Get a
I
second.
second it. This is Caroline.
Caroline, second. Don. All right, we will begin. Amy Cole,
Yes.
Anna Barrett Smith,
Yes.
Ben Forrest,
Yes.
Caroline Daughtery,
Caroline Doherty, yes.
Don Rose.
Yes.
Melinda Fagundes,
Yes.
Tracy Avery Lenz,
Yes.
Ware Ford. Motion passed. We are in closed session.
On what?